Good morning. It's me, Maris, and I'm live. Well, kind of live. I'm live here, but it won't come up live on YouTube or on my Facebook. I will catch up in this afternoon and do a little Facebook Live because I love doing Facebook Live. It's one of my favorite things of the day. But welcome to Sacred Space Studio, and I'm over here in the Oklahoma Healing Connection office, getting ready for the day. And Spirit keeps nudging me, nudging, and it says, you know what? You need to do a reading. So I'm going to do an energy forecast for today, and it's going to be able to float us through for a couple of days, just letting us know what's going on in the universe around us. And what's really kind of funny is that chance favors a prepared mind. I had a crazy old boyfriend, and that was one of his mantras, and I really like that mantra. I guess that is one good thing I can say from a negative relationship, is that I learned something kind of cool, and that was chance favors a prepared mind. And that's really what readings are really all about, because, when you think about it, whoops, here's a card. Okay, we're just going to set that right there. That's going to be number one. But when you think about it, that when it comes to getting readings or doing readings or being a part of a reading, whatever way you want to look at it, oops, kind of flipped them around there, that when you're getting a reading, it's nothing is really totally definitive, okay? And I'm going to tell you a little story while I'm waiting for this. Several years ago, I had a reading done by this guy. And it was over at, I don't know, Harlan Bell used to own a store called Bell's Mystical Beginnings. And there was a guy there and it wasn't Harlan, but it was another guy that did a reading for me. And it was funny because I said, I come in and I get a once a year reading. Tell me what's going on. What do I need to look forward to? Whatever. And so he tells me this story, not a story, but he tells me all about my children and everything. But just an FYI, everything did come into fruition, what he said. Tells me about me and everything comes into fruition about that. And then I'm like, hey, but you know what? You haven't mentioned my husband. And his face gets like this and he goes, well, he won't be around. And I'm like, oh, so Katox thinks he's going to leave me? What's the deal here? And so I sat there for a couple of minutes and I just sat there. Okay, here's another one. And he looks at me and he starts kind of pointing at his stomach and, taking his hand. And he goes, no, he won't be here. And he's showing me something on his stomach. So I leave that day and I take this information that I received from the reading, and I go home and we implement some changes at our home. We implement a couple of food changes, some lifestyle changes, etc. And lo and behold, October comes rolling around, and my stomach, or my husband, Katak, starts talking about having some abdominal pain. And so he goes to the hospital, goes to the emergency room, and they send him to have surgery. And the surgeon is in surgery repairing these issues, but finds these huge lymph nodes that are grossly, nastily inflamed, and ends up that my husband was diagnosed with lymphoma. And fortunately, we have spent, that first part of the year going through doing some lifestyle changes, and I think we're now like about 4 or 5. This was back in like 2014 when I had the reading. Okay, here's our last card. And uh, it is now 2019, and my husband is in remission. So I just want to say that, chance favors a prepared mind. I could have taken that information of my husband being gone or disengaged, whatever, by the end of the year. However, that wasn't an outcome that I was thumbs up about. And I know that when my mind is prepared and I know what's ahead of me, I have the opportunity to change that. And that is what readings really are about. We don't go in and get this reading and hold this information, especially if it's something about a cautious or, maybe some negative changes coming up, etc. It's not about embracing those changes. It's about knowing that you, yes, you, have the ability to change that destiny or change that fate. You don't have to buy in to the negative stuff. You have an opportunity to change things. So, well, we've got 3 cards for our reading today, and we're going to start with the first one. Ooh. Let's see, we may have to come up a little bit. Oh, here we go. Let's adjust this just a little bit. Okay, you can still see me. Hi. But you can still see the card too. And the first card that we're looking at, it says Ride the Wave. Ride the Wave. So a message that I'm getting in here with Ride the Wave is that we need to kind of be aware, not kind of, yeah, let's be aware of what's going on around us, but don't start reacting. Do not start reacting to the stimuli. Ride the wave. See where it comes out. See where it's going to before you make rash choices. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one and I'm going to move it over here to the side so we still have a little point of reference. Let's come over this way. We still have our point of reference. And our second card here and is the Balancing Act. And I'm going to bring that a little closer to you. Okay, come on, Glare. You're being ugly to us today. Look like I'm on a grainy porn film, right? Okay, well, it's the Balancing Act. And the Balancing Act is giving us, again, another heed. Okay, folks, don't start reacting to things that are not yours to react to. Do not start reacting to things that are not yours to react to. So you see we've got Ride the Wave. Let's bring that a little here. We've got Ride the Wave. Tells us to sit back, watch, see what it unfolds. Balancing Act, again, is saying do not react. Do not react. Read my lips. Do not react. And then the final card is this Rock Bottom. All right. Now, some people might take rock bottom to mean something kind of negative, and it's really not trying to give you a negative picture. It's saying where those things are right now, that's the worst it's going to get. That is the worst it is going to get. Do not react harshly, quickly, without looking at everything. Take the time to look at both sides or maybe 5 sides of that issue and where it is right now or what's going to be erupting over that next couple of days with that rock bottom, that's the worst it's going to get. Again, on that rock bottom, we have that beginning energy, and I'm just going to come through here. Let's go like this. That beginning energy is ride the wave. Looks like we're in the water, doesn't it? Ride the wave. Get in there. Don't react harshly. Don't react quickly. Balancing act. We're going to take this information that we're receiving. We're going to look at it from both sides of the issue. We're going to take it, bring it in, understand it, and then remember that rock bottom. On this rock bottom, folks, it doesn't mean that you've hit that rock bottom. It means that in these particular situations that you're having to kind of sit back and look at, it's really important to know that where it goes or where it is, that is the worst it's going to be. And you and I can deal with that when we know what's in front of us. So take a deep breath and enjoy your Tuesday. Ride the wave, balance the act, and know that it can't get any worse than what it already is. That means it can only go up and get better. Kind of a cool thought when you look at it from that perspective. I hope you have a most awesome day. and enjoy. Be a part of peace. Peace. Enjoy your day.